Okay, we're here again, Bobby's Hobbies, and in the role of the train hunter. Found something interesting, at least I think it's interesting, on eBay. And these are some locomotives that are in need of some kind of repair. I think these locomotives are made by Playart, which is some company out of Hong Kong, or at least manufactured in Hong Kong. Look, a lot of trains are manufactured in China, whatnot. And I think it's also made by Lima. And I don't even know if they're steam engines. I don't know if they're complete. I think there might be only one doesn't need a tender, and one has a tender, and one's missing a tender. But I don't know if it needs the tender to run. Some steam engines do. You know, it's got your typical peanut filling. So we gotta get through all this. It always uses these peanuts to ship somewhere else. This person actually was trying to be very careful with this stuff. Wow. Oh, nice. Sort of foamy. Really tried to protect these things. Now, who knows? Here's a tender. Here's an engine. Another engine. And yet another engine. Wow. So, let's see here. Take a look at the tender. Obviously, you know, there are some locomotives like made by Lilliput and others that are steam engines that have a motor in the tender. Even Tyco did that with the Chattanooga locomotive, and they used in that one their pancake motor in the tender. Lima, I don't think does that. I know that Lilliput does. Now look, this is a beautiful tender. Look at that. Look at the detail. I could see that the one locomotive will definitely need this tender because there's a spring load on the connect bar, which means that power is coming from this. So that on this has the European style coupler, which if you want to really use this on, you know, I can adapt it, but I don't need to do that right now. So anyway, I could always share the tender, run one loco with the tender, one without. I mean, I knew what I was getting, and I have lots of other tenders. Now let's see what this is. Is this, always be careful when you use a razor. You always cut away from yourself. Seems kind of obvious, but it's amazing how many times you don't do it in your life. And also, don't ever cut deeply. Now, ooh, this looks like Lima. Yep, now this is a nice engine. Now, unfortunately, I knew going into this that some of these things don't work. So we have to figure out right now which is which. You know, which ones work and which ones don't. I'm going to assume, see, on this styrofoam, I can kind of like just leave everything loose like this. It's pretty protected. Let's see what happens. I'll put it at 50% power. I'll put a direct connection on. This is on a locomotive like this, this is where the power comes from, the tender. No life at all. Alright, well, no life at all. Gonna have to see why. Oh, well, you know, it would help if I turned the power on the power pack. I had the main power switch off. That's kind of hard to overcome that. The motor's working. Oh, look at that. So there's a connection missing. Wow. Well, the motor's perfectly good, but the gear's missing. Now, wouldn't you know it? I've got like a zillion billion Lima gears. Ooh, I just remembered I have all those Lima gears. Well, I have gears, but not necessarily the worm. So this is a project. It's got a little bit of a smell to it. Now that's fascinating. Somebody botched this up ages ago. Had to have taken something apart. Oh, I see it here. The gear's loose. Look at that. All right, well, this is going to be a major. This is going to be a major rebuild. So we put that there. That'll have to be its own show. Let's see what happens on this one. Not major, but in other words, the motor works. The gear's slipping. Now there's a crack there. See that? See that part of the cabin roof is missing? So this must have been dropped. You know, I can make that out of sheet styrene. Repaint it, look good as new. Bring that train back, hopefully. It all depends on, look, the fact that the motor works is great. The fact that some kind of gear scenario is in there is troubling, but you never know. Maybe it can be fixed. Now let's see what this one is. This one is a tiny little locomotive. It doesn't need a tender. This one is Playart. You know, kind of simplistic, but you know, sometimes simple is good. Power on. Let's see if we get this to no. No power at all. Let's try it on the track. Sometimes it might work a little easier. So we'll connect this up. The main power is now on. I seem to have like a habit of shutting that power off constantly, and it makes it harder on myself. Ooh, slipping gear. Another slipping gear. Right, okay, 2 slipping gears. But the motor's live. Another project. Well, that's going to be the challenge. Now I got to rebuild 2 steam engines. See, now I have no choice with those but to go in and fix them. Unlike the Spirit of 76. But the reward is if I bring it back, it's pretty cool. Now this is a beastie size engine. If this works, you know what? If this thing works, it was worth the price for it. It's like any other 2 for free. This needs a tender. I hope this one works. Let's just see. I didn't shut the power off again. Like a reverse kleptomaniac. Oh my gosh, she's working. Can't really see it from that angle, so I'm going to try to show it at this angle. The price I paid for these 3, I would have paid for this one. This is a gem, and this one works beautifully. Oh my gosh. A little luck, the train hunter came through. This one just needs a little lube. Yeah, it needs a little lube. A little cleanup. Might not even need lube, it just might need to run a bit. But it's a little stiff. See that? A little stiff. Now, the question where can I put the lube most effectively so that she comes back to life. Because that's the other thing. Do you really want to, you know, I'm gonna get the old magnifying reading glasses. Let's see here. Now this one's had some yep, gotta put the oil. I'm assuming, and be careful when you assume, if you remember the old Odd Couple, that's the heavy oil. This is the light oil. It's got beautiful side rods. Just put tiny amounts. Can't get any more in there. Okay, it's got the old pancake motor. Again, trying to do less is more. Less is more in terms of a lot of things. Don't want to take. You really don't want to take a steam engine apart unless you have no choice, because that's just asking for trouble. Yeah, I really don't want to hide this. So. I shut the power off again. I can't stop myself from shutting off the power. Like a safety freak. Oh, she's running better already. Now this is forward. She does need a lot of power to start up. Well, you could probably tell me, is the light on in the front? Does she have a light? Oh yeah, she's got one running light. And one light's not working. Gosh damn it. Missing a light. I'll take it though. Wow. I said this was worth it. The whole batch was worth it just for this, whatever I paid. Got one running light, and I've got bulbs too. Oh no. Got a little stuck. So she definitely has got some kind of electrical issue. Not sure why. Might have to take off the top. Because, you know, she ran and then she doesn't want to run, and that's not really a good sign. She's starting to run better. Let's see here. If I just get a different angle, or hopefully you could see this maybe a little bit better. There's nothing loose on the side rods, that's for sure. It's a little strange though when the steam engine wants to go one way, not the other. Could just be very strange. So that bespeaks of some kind of, you know, electrical. Let me put on more power just to see. I'm only touching it briefly because I don't want to burn the motor out if it's actually stuck. Yeah, we're going to have to take it apart. Not the whole thing, though. At least I don't think so. All right, let's see.